skull project for vessels and glands. Starting off with number 111 is the common carotid. Next we have number 112, which is the common sinus, which is located here as well. Then we have 113, which is the internal carotid, which is located right here. Number 114 is the ophthalmic artery, which is located here on the skull. Then we go to number 115, which is the external carotid, located there. Next we go to 116, which is the superior thyroid artery, which is located right there. Number 117 is the ascending pharyngeal, which is located here. And then we have number 118, which is the lingual artery, located there. And then we have the facial artery next, which is 119, located right there. And it is also on the mandible, located here. And then we have number 120, which is the ascending palatine artery, which is located right here. We have number 121, which is next. It's the submental artery, which is located there. Then we have 122, which is the inferior labial artery, which is located right here on the mandible. We have 123, which is the superior labial artery, which is located on the skull right here. Then we have the 124, which is the angular artery, which is located here on the skull. Next we have number 125, which is the occipital artery, which is located here on the skull. Next we have number 126, which is the posterior auricular artery, which is located there on the skull. Next we have number 127, which is the maxillary artery, which is located there on the mandible. Next we have 128, which is the middle meningeal artery, which is located on the back side of the skull right there. Next we have 129, which is located on the mandible right here, and it is the inferior alveolar artery. Next we have 130, which is the mylohyoid artery, located right there on the mandible. Next we have 131, which is the mental artery, which is located on the mandible as well, located there. Next we have 132, which is the incisive artery, which is located on the mandible right there. And then next we have 133, which is the mesenteric artery, which is located right there. Next we have 134, which is the parotid artery, which is located right here on the mandible. And then next we have 135, which is the deep temporal artery, which is located right here on the skull. Next we have 136, which is the buccal artery, located right here on the mandible. Next we have the PSA artery, which is number 137, which is located here on the skull. And then next we have 138, which is the descending palatine artery, which is located here on the skull. Next we have 139, which is the GP artery, which is located right here on the skull. And then next we have the LP artery, which is right next to it, which is number 40, located right next to it on the skull. And then next we have 141, which is the IO artery, located here on the skull. And then next we have the ASA artery, which is a number 142, which is located right here on the skull. And then next we have number 143, which is the MSA artery, which is located here on the skull. And then next we have 144, which is the sphenopalatine artery, which is located right there on the skull. And then next we have the nasopalatine artery, which is number 145, located there. And then next we have 146, which is the superficial temporal artery, which is located right here on the neck and also right here on the skull. And next we have number 147, which is the transverse facial artery, which is located here on the skull. And next we have number 148, which is the middle temporal artery, which is located right here on the skull. And then next we have number 149, it's the frontal branch of the superficial temporal artery, which is located here on the skull. And then next to it, we have 150, which is the parietal branch of the superficial temporal artery, which is located there. And then next we have the veins. The first vein we're starting out with is number 151, located there, and is the internal jugular vein. And the next, number 152, which is located there. It is the facial vein, and then this is also right here on the skull, and also runs down through the mandible there. And then next we have the submental vein, which is located right here in a little tricky spot right there on the mandible. And then next we have the inferior labial vein, which is located on the mandible as well, right here. And then next we have the superior labial vein, which is located right here on the skull, which is number 155. And then next we have 156, which is located right there on the skull and is the angular vein. Next we have 157, which is the supraorbital vein located here on the skull. And then next we have the ophthalmic veins, which is located inside the orbit there, and is number 158. Next we have the lingual veins, which one is located on the tongue here, 159, and also located here on the neck. And then next we have number 160, which is the superior thyroid vein, which is located right here on the neck. And then next we have number 161, which is the hernias venous sinus. I'll laugh at that one, located here on the skull, which is number 161. And then number 162 is located on the skull right here and is the PSA vein. And then next we have the pterygoid venous plexus, which is located right here, number 163. And then next we have the maxillary vein, which is number 164. It is located on the mandible right here, and it is also located here on the neck. And then next we have the IA vein. The IA vein is located on the mandible right here, which is number 165. And then next we have number 166, which is the mental vein, which is located right here on the mandible. And then next we have number 167, which is this superficial temporal vein, which is located here on the neck and also located here on the skull. It runs down. And then next we have the deep facial vein, which is number 168, which is actually located here on the skull. And then next we have the number 169, which is the emissary veins, which is located here on the skull. And then next we have the retromandibular vein, which is located here on the mandible, which is number 170. And then it is also located here on the neck. And then next we have number 171, which is the external jugular vein, which runs along. And then we have number 171A, which is the occipital vein, which is located right here. And then next we have the posterior auricular vein, which is 171B, located here. And then next we have 171C, which is the anterior jugular vein, which is located right here. And then now we are going to move on to glands. The first gland is number 172. It is the lacrimal gland, located there. And then next we have number 173, which is the parotid gland, which is located around this perimeter here, which is 173. And then 173A, located here, is the Stenson's duct. And then next we have number 174, which is the submandibular gland, which is located there. And then 174A, located to the side of it, is the Wharton's duct. And then next we have number 175, located here, and it is the sublingual gland. And then next to it, right there, 175A is the Bartholin's duct. And then lastly, we have the thyroid gland located here. Thank you. Hopefully I didn't mispronounce too much.